Welcome, everyone. So today it's about demystifying process jargon in our continuous improvements projects. What does CI means? Curiously interesting, definitely. Continuous improvements. There may be loads, and this is exactly the topic. Is when we have acronyms, we shouldn't take for granted that anyone and everyone is understanding them, have the same understanding of what are these acronyms. So let's take another one just for PDCA. Plan, do, check, act. Indeed. So I can have my answer by hovering over my little underlined, dotted underlined text in Skore directly. And this is the feature we're going to talk about today, the glossary. The third example I created is here. We've done it with acronyms, which is a very good use case because sometimes they're a bit cryptic for a lot of people, including people who have been so long in a company they don't even remember what they mean in the first place. But having any terms probably need a definition, like what is a risk, what is a mitigating control. And if I navigate in Skore, we have a glossary at the workspace level here. We can see that I've populated it here with a couple of examples. BT for black text, CI, we saw it already, but also what is a label, what is a risk, what is the kind of waste. See, if you're doing a lean project, you may want to clarify what you mean by the type of waste. So as we're in continuous improvement projects, usually you come in, and very often people using Skore and people joining these sessions, you will sort of work a bit like a consultant. You will work with different teams over the entire business. And for you, this is a good opportunity. You are in this position, being a bit of a newbie to a process or to a department or to an organization. This is an opportunity to ask the dumb questions. You're in this privileged conversation position where part of the conversation of mapping the process, you can ask question, and a lot of people will be grateful that someone asked. How do you define a template? What is this product template that everyone is talking about? So this is your opportunity to capture that, and to make sure that everyone is on the same page. As a consultant working with several teams in the same organization, you may realize that the same thing also has different names in different buildings or different departments or business units. So this is also sometimes an opportunity to standardize the vocabulary, to make sure that everyone, when they talk about a specific thing, they all mean the same. And your role as a consultant may be to flag, okay, I heard this term in another business unit, but it doesn't mean the same at all that in our business unit. So are we happy with that? Maybe we are, or is that the opportunity to normalize that and standardize, or use someone has to change in using a different type of vocabulary. Now, in Skore, as I've shown live now, we can capture the acronyms and all the definitions directly while mapping the process. And I think this is making it very nice as part of the conversation. So let's say we have something where we say, all right, we need to write down the epics for the system. Okay, what is an epic? Maybe you have your own definition and someone else has their own definition. So instead of writing word just like that, what I can do is hashtag epic, okay? And I see it doesn't exist yet. There are no glossary terms found, so I can just create it. So it's created as a glossary item now that I can go and define later down the line. But at least I've captured it, okay? And then you can do that as many times as you need while you are mapping your processes. At this stage, you can go back to the glossary. It's here. And I've accessed it directly from the process, clicking on the left corner. I can find my epic, and let's say, and then I was all right, we defined epic. Maybe we need to define user stories. And this is the sort of the recursivity magic of the glossary, that you can go create glossary items within the glossary items. So let me save that. Now I have my user story that will appear here. And again, I can define that. Right, you know the drill. So these glossary items are very useful for two reasons for me. First, because we can capture them as we are mapping, and second, they bring everyone on the same page. What is a risk? What is PDCA? It's very important in this kind of processes. And to me, yeah, you shouldn't be afraid asking when you're working with a new team what they mean. And last, there's an opportunity to simplify the vocabulary across different teams. Yeah, so the feature is available for everyone. It's been released for a couple of weeks now. It's there in the tool. The glossary definition can have images, so they can be just text, as I just showed you. But you see here you have the full editor. So I have seen very creative usage of the terms and definitions, using images to illustrate or linking to documents from the internet, to a presentation or to anything. Basically, and we can do links to whatever we want. So this is a very powerful little feature that, yeah, I got quite addicted to it since it's in the product. I like it. We could even create, as I suggested earlier, a preliminary booking. Yeah, booking statuses. Here are all the statuses that we have, and then we have the preliminary booking here.
You can do like sales process as well. What does one mean, or qualified mean? You can actually use it to elaborate on a term, not which is quite neat. And this is often something which people assume that they know, or they assume everyone has a common understanding of, but it's we know what assumption means.
To me, this was the main surprise. Started working in a major transformation project. I started doing this Excel file where we had the glossaries, and two things were very revealing. Is that I was the one asking for the definitions, and I saw a couple of people like, well, I'm glad you asked. I've been in this company for too long for having the balls to ask that. And the second is, we realized that a couple of teams were talking about the same thing but not calling it the same way, and I've acted as the one saying, all right, you know what, the marketing team is calling it this way. So shall we try to align to their vocabulary, maybe because they are the primary recipient of this document? Shall we call it the way they did? And actually, when you enforce it, when you map the process, you say, all right, I know they're calling it a draft, but you're calling it a project, whatever, brief. Over time, they will just get used to it, and the change will happen in very slowly, but it will happen.
That's cool. And then again, the other thing which I've had feedback from is, you've got to add it each time. So there'll be times where you don't add it. So just pointing your end users more so at the little glossary button on the left of the process, making sure that they understand it's there and they can go and do the terms. So when you're in a process, you've always got a quick link to.
Exactly. So you can open it from there. So I'm in the process. So this is not a process map. Like, this looks a bit more like a process, and it's always available here in the bottom left menu.
Yeah, and again, what they've been training their people to do, particular customers, if there's an abbreviation you don't understand, create a comment against the process for the editor to go and then add it in. So use the feedback within the tool to get your abbreviation added or the explanation added.
Absolutely. A very convenient tool that really works with the whole mindset of Skore, is creating this shared understanding how things work together, understanding, demystifying the complex process or just the vocabulary within it.
Brilliant.
Thank you, everyone.